Okay, so hi, my name's Joe, and I'm going to be interviewing my friend Tata in regards to devolution as a means of a peace process in Cameroon. So, Tata, yeah, if you'd like to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about what you do in Cameroon.
Yes, Joe, thank you very much. I am Tata Wirba Ismaila, the founder and executive director of Miami New Vision, a registered non-profit in Cameroon. We focus so much on sustainable agriculture, environmentalism, and natural resource management. We use sustainable farming as a tool to establish peace cities in Cameroon. We are creating sustainable communities around Cameroon and Africa. So, Joe, it will really be an honor to answer your questions on the evolutionary system of governance.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, let's get started with the first question. So this process of devolution as a means of creating peace to civil conflict, do you think that in Cameroon, this process of devolution in Western Cameroon would be accepted by the government? Would this be something that the government would pursue?
Actually, it is an issue for the government. For the government to accept is an issue,
Hmm.
and for the separatist fighters to accept is another issue.
Mm.
If the two parties don't sit down and dialogue, maybe the leaders, the government leaders, and the separatist leaders, the system will not work. But if they could sit down and dialogue, yes, it will be a way forward to solve the ongoing socio-political crisis in the Western Cameroon.
Okay, so in Northern Ireland, one of the guarantees, one of the things that the government said that it would do, that would lead to it talking to the separatist fighters would be if they stuck to a ceasefire. If the separatist fighters stuck to a ceasefire, they would do it. So do you think that's possible? Do you think that if there was a ceasefire, the government would be willing to talk to the separatist fighters?
Ceasefire is possible if the government deploy her troops back to the barracks.
Yeah. Okay.
It is
Yeah.
possible.
Okay. Brilliant. So what do you think? So do you think the separatist fighters also would they be happy to stand down and stop the fighting if it meant that they were able to implement a devolved system of government?
Hopefully, they will be able to, but to an extent, they will not be able to.
Yeah.
So the reason is because if you look at the way the conflict is, the separatists, the leaders who are there putting pressure on those back home in the Western Cameroon, they are not in one accord.
Yeah.
They are of different groups,
Hmm.
each group fighting another group, meaning there is an infight which, if they don't stop it, the devolutionary system of government won't work because others will be for and others will be against. So the first thing is for the separatist fighters or their leaders to come into a compromise
Hmm.
and agree on one thing. And if they don't do that, it's going to be difficult.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So so, do you think that if this devolved government was set up, so let's say the separatist fighters compromised with each other, and peace talks peace talks began and this devolved government was established, do you think that then there would be much more peace in Western Cameroon?
Yeah, absolutely, there will be much more peace. But now the worry is with the devolution system of government, what I've realized is that the government is still the one having the central powers. The military is still controlled by the government. The army is under the government. With this system, it can work. But now the issue in Western Cameroon is that they want total liberation.
Hmm.
That's why it is difficult for the system to be implemented because they want total liberation.
Yeah.
If it was something that they just wanted maybe to have a proportion or maybe proportionate distribution of resources, it would have been difficult. But now that what they want is their total liberation, they want to have the system of government of theirs, which is absolutely different from the French system of government in Cameroon.
Mm.
But to me, from my understanding, looking at the way things are right now and the extent to which people have died,
Mm.
properties destroyed, devolution system of government is the best way to solve the crisis now. And I believe even the innocent civilians who are dying day and night, they are going to accept it.
Yeah, and that's great. And in Northern Ireland, so a lot of my project, I'm looking at Northern Ireland, and in Northern Ireland, there was a lot of similarities with two things that you mentioned. In Northern Ireland, one of the big problems was that there was um, multiple groups that were opposed to each other, and they were not able to compromise for many years. And it was only once they were able to both compromise that this was able to continue. And also, another similarity is that a lot of the separatist fighters in Northern Ireland wanted complete independence from the United Kingdom and to join Ireland. So, do you believe that potentially it's possible that if peace was achieved in Northern Ireland, that it would be possible to achieve peace in Cameroon with the introduction of the devolved government? Do you think that they are comparable?
Yes, actually, it's very possible. But the question is this: what measures will be put in place to make sure that those who are in the bushes, the separatist fighters,
Hmm.
those who have hold the arms, those who are fighting, how are they going to get out of this? What will be their occupation after this? Most of them are not educated. Most of them haven't even attended primary school, or let me call it elementary school. They haven't attended elementary school. How would they be recruited into the military? Because they are already warriors. And the only way out is easy to give a gun to a child and difficult to take it. And the best way is that if this system was going to work, the government should recruit all of them into the government military to serve somewhere under the government. But now there are thousands of them there. How is it possible? That's where the worry is now.
Yeah.
They're already earning money from it. But the worst of it is that there are a lot of abductions. They're abducting people, kidnapping, demanding for ransoms, and that is already their own way of living.
So what would be important would be if would be the way for maybe the government of Cameroon and this if there was a government in Western Cameroon to
Mhm.
work together to help economically rehabilitate the fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, hopefully a government that is based in Western Cameroon will be more concerned with the problems that are facing Western Cameroon. So perhaps they would be more able to implement a solution, maybe. But yes, that's very true. I mean, it's very true that there's once the peace happens, what happens to all these people who have been fighting?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what could have been done.
Yeah,
But it's very difficult. So
yeah,
it's very difficult, and it's not difficult depending on how the government take it and how the separatist fighters leaders will take it. But the main worry is that the separatist fighters leaders, they are all overseas. None of them is home based. The sponsors are all overseas. They are all overseas with their families. They live in luxury, but the innocent one are here suffering.
okay,
How will they compensate? How will they compensate the damage that have already been caused?
yeah, yeah,
It's very difficult.
okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Tata. That's been very eye-opening and very informative. So yeah, I have my deepest gratitude and many thanks. And if there's any last remarks that you would like to make regarding this topic, feel free to say them.
Actually, I would like to thank you for using me as a tool to get your university work complete. I think this is a partial completion of your course in the university, what we are doing now.
Mhm.
And letting me know more about the devolution process of government, which was once implemented between the Great Britain and Northern Ireland,
Mhm.
and it was successful. As a peace advocate, I will keep on advocating that this system should be implemented in Cameroon and other parts of Africa where we have a lot of conflicts. So much so that peace should be established.
Yeah.
And we have a prosperous economy.
Yeah.
And a peaceful society. That's going to be of great help to create more sustainable communities in Africa and across the world.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tata. And once my dissertation is complete, I'll be happy to send it to you, and hopefully we can use something that we learn in it to create a model or that we can use to establish peace.
Okay, that would be great.
Thanks. Bye bye.
All right, do take care.
Yeah. God bless. Thank you.
All right.